Many years ago, in a small city called Aziora, there lived a young boy named Yagazie, who was the first son of Amuchi, who had two sons, Yagazie and Oscar. Yagazie was a student in his final level at the university, studying mechanical engineering. Yagazie has a girlfriend named Ozioma, who was also studying mechanical engineering. They had met as first year students at the university. They quickly became inseparable as they were madly in love with each other. Their relationship was serious, even as they were still young. They often spoke about dreams of a future. Ozioma, who was deeply in love with Yagazie, would always spend weekend in his room because he stays off campus. She would come some weekends to visit him, even though they see themselves every day in class. However, after 4 years of being together, Uzuma broke a sad news that she was pregnant. That night, while sitting on the bed with Yagazie, her eyes filled with tears and fear as she said to him, I, I am pregnant. I recently found out, she said, looking at Yagazie, who was in total shock, and his eyeballs popping out. The revelation sent Yagazie into a spiral of anxiety and fear as he shouted, Jesus! You are what, Ozioma? Now. How could you allow yourself get pregnant? Eh? Are you a baby? Don't you know what other girls are doing so they won't get pregnant? See here, Ozioma, I am honestly not ready to be a father, Yagaze said, frowning his face. So we are not ready to be a father. When you were busy climbing Minko, telling me all the sweet things in this world, and your waist will be going free will on me. So you did not know that you were not ready to be a father, Yagazie? Ozioma replied, sounding very angry and scared. Look, Ozioma, we are both still students, without stable jobs, and I can't imagine taking on the responsibility of parenthood at this time. We are in our final year and need to focus on passing our final exam. Ozi mama, Ozi my love, please just terminate the pregnancy. We are both not ready to be parents, Yagazie said, holding her hands. After many intense conversation, they agreed on terminating the baby. When Ozoma got back to her hostel, she sat on her bed lost in thoughts. Yagazie was never the one that got her pregnant. Rather, it was another man she was secretly dating because she believes that putting all her eggs in one basket was risky. But after getting pregnant for Amy Malaysia, who came back few months ago from Malaysia, he denied the pregnancy and refused to marry her. So she decided to pin it on Yagazie, who believed everything she said. So this stupid man did not marry me after promising me marriage and sleeping with me. Kai! I was so stupid, all in the name of double dating, just in case Yagazie abandons me. Now look at the result, she said, sighing, as she immediately cut ties with Amy Malaysia and focused on her relationship with Yagazie, who she believes was deeply in love with her. After some months, Yagazie and Ozioma finally graduated and stepped into the adult world, facing the realities of life after school. Yagazie landed a well-paying job and a source of pride for both of them, as it marked his readiness for the future he had envisioned with Ozioma. Soon, after they got married to each other, celebrating their love and the future they had worked towards. However, after 2 years of marriage, Uzuma could not conceive. They tried all they could think of, from traditional remedies to lifestyle changes, yet months after months passed without them getting any positive results. Hey God, is this problem from my side, eh? Why can't I get pregnant? Don't tell me that stupid doctor that carried out my abortion years back has damaged my womb. See what Amy Malaysia has caused. Wherever he is, God will punish him. I should have just remained loyal to Yagazie. Oh. See the problem I have landed myself into. Uzoma said to herself, lamenting, thinking of what to do, as she suggested to Yagazie that they visit the hospital. Uzoma, you worry too much. We are both okay and can bear children. God's time is the best, okay? Yagazie replied. I know God's time is the best, but let's just go to the hospital first and know what the problem is. Uzuma insisted. After so many persuasion, Yagaze gave in as he finally followed her to the hospital. The doctor ran several tests on both of them to uncover any medical issues that might be preventing them from conceiving, as he told them to return back 2 days later to get the test results. But on the day the results were ready, Ozioma went to the hospital alone. Because of Yagaze's busy schedule, he could not join her, so she went alone. Mrs. Yagazie, from the test results I am holding here, it shows that you are perfectly okay and can conceive. Immediately she heard she was okay, she shouted happily, thanking God because she thought the fault was from her due to the abortion she did few years ago. But unfortunately, your husband is impotent and can't get any woman pregnant. Uzoma was so shocked as she covered her mouth with her hands. My God! So doctor, you are saying no matter what, my husband can't get me pregnant? She asked, looking very shocked. No, he can't. I'll advise both of you to go for adoption, the doctor said, looking at Uzioma, who was very sad. When Uzioma left the hospital back home, she felt a heavy weight on her shoulder as she felt pity for Yagazie. As she said to herself, hey, I said it. The fault was not mine because I got pregnant while in school. I just needed this test to be sure my womb is not damaged. What will I do? How will I live with an impotent man that can't even get me pregnant? How will my husband feel if I give him this test result? Uzoma said to herself as she decided to hide it from her husband. When her husband returned back home that day and asked her about the results, Uzoma lied to him, telling him the doctor said they were both okay and could bear children. You see, I told you, but you were busy worrying yourself. God's time is the best. Very soon, I believe you'll get pregnant, Yagazie said to her, smiling as she returned the smile. As days passed, Uzoma was so bothered, lost in thought, thinking of what to do, as she decided to travel to the village to tell her mother-in-law Amuche what was going on, because she was very close to her and they had a good relationship. Uzoma, you did not tell me you were coming today, oh, Amuche asked immediately she saw her. Mama, do I need to tell you I am coming? This house is our house. I can come anytime I want, Uzoma replied, smiling. But at least, you should have told me so I can prepare Oba and Abacha for you. You know now, it's your favorite, Amuche said, teasing her. Mama, please leave food though. This is not the time to discuss about food. Come and sit down, I have something very important to tell you. Don't tell me it has entered though. Obago, are you pregnant? Amuche asked excitedly. No, Mama, I am not. That's why I am here, Uzoma replied as her mood changed and she went to sit down on a chair. Uzoma, what is it? Are you okay? Why is your face like this? Amuche asked as she sat close to her. Mama, I was at the hospital last week and the doctor said Yagazie is impotent and he advised we go for adoption. I refused to let Yagazie know about it. That is why I came here to tell you first, Uzoma said, bringing out the test results. Tufia, God forbid. My first fruits cannot be impotent. So, are you telling me the doctor said he's shooting air near Ikuku? Amuche asked to be sure she heard right. Yes, Mama, you can look at the test results. I was even considering adoption, but I wanted to discuss with you first. Shoo! I said shoo! Close that your mouth. Which nonsense adoption? Another man's child is not coming into this family. Never. It won't happen. Amuche replied, sounding angry. Okay, Mama. What do you want us to do, Even I myself, I don't want to adopt. But as it is now, there is no option, no. As I can't even go for IVF, Uzoma said, looking at her mother-in-law. Amuche, who was deeply invested in seeing her son have children, shocked Uzoma with a radical suggestion. Now, Uzoma, listen to me, she said, looking around to ensure no one was close, as she lowered her voice and said to her, I want you to sleep with Oscar. Let him get you pregnant. Mama, ah, how can you suggest such a thing? No, I will do no such thing. What if Yagazie finds out? Or any other person finds out? Calm down. Nobody's going to find out. This is something we are going to do codedly. Amuche replied. But Mama, I don't like this idea at all. Oscar is just 18 years old. And you want me to sleep with him? If Yagazie ever finds out, he will never ever forgive us. Uzoma said, sounding very worried. Uzoma, just relax. I will handle everything myself. Me, I don't want you people to adopt though. At least, if you get pregnant and give birth, our bloodline will still continue. This shouldn't be an issue at all. Or will you be the one to tell Yagazie? Shebi, you said you did not give him the test result. So there is no way he will find out now. Or do you want to tell him? Mama, please let me think about this. I'll let you know what I decide on. Uzuma said to her mother-in-law. Here, what is there to think about? But anyways, whenever you are ready, just let me know. I will talk to Oscar. He's my son. I know how to handle him. And he would definitely listen to me and do what I say. Amuche replied as Uzuma drove back to the city. That night, Amuche called her son Oscar and explained everything to him, telling him she wants him to sleep with Uzoma and get her pregnant. Ah, Mama, me, I can't do it all. I can't betray my elder brother. Never, Oscar shouted. Come on, will you shut up your mouth? What do you know? I am telling you something you will do that will help your brother. And you are here saying nonsense. Just help out, that's all. But Mama, what if he finds out? Oscar asked. Except if you tell him. Or are you planning to? Amuche asked. Mama, this your idea. I just don't like it at all. But anyways, if it's what you want, I'll do it, Oscar replied, as he finally agreed. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Uzoma was thinking about her mother-in-law's suggestion, whether to sleep with Oscar or not. After a long thought, she eventually gave in as she said to herself, nobody will tell Yagazie. And besides, Oscar is his brother, so even if he finds out, he will be thankful that he helped him bear children. That morning, Uzuma told her husband she would be traveling to the village to spend the weekend with his mother, and Yagazie, who never suspected anything, allowed his wife to travel. When she traveled to the village, her mother-in-law was so happy to see her, as she thanked her for accepting to do what she suggested. That night, Uzoma and Oscar carried out the evil act and slept with each other. And within a month, Uzoma got pregnant. She informed her mother-in-law over the phone, who was very happy to hear about the news. But Uzoma's conscience was haunting her, as she felt so bad for what she did. Yagazie, her husband, on hearing she was pregnant, was so happy, as he began to jubilate, kneeling down and thanking God for remembering him. So finally, I am going to be a father. Ah, God, you did this one. I thank you. My beautiful wife, thank you so much. See, I don't want you to stress yourself. Just take care of yourself and the baby. If there's anything you want, just let me know. I will provide it. Yagazie said to Uzoma, still jubilating. So finally, my efforts paid off, he said to himself, smiling, not knowing the evil Uzoma had done. Soon, it was 9 months, and Uzoma gave birth to a bouncing baby boy. Yagazie was the happiest man on earth, as he named his son Ugonnaya. Over the years, Uzoma kept on going to the village to sleep with Oscar anytime she wants to get pregnant. 4 years later, Uzoma had bore 3 children, and she and Yagazie raised them as a loving family. Uzoma kept her secret deep, never daring to speak of it. But luck ran out on her one fateful day. That morning, Yagazie was driving the kids to school, but as he was driving past their estate gate, he spotted a familiar face. Is this not Dr. Richard? Our family doctor, he said to himself as he parked his car to greet him. Dr. Richard! Yagazie called out his name as he greeted him warmly. Ah, Mr. Yagazie, it's been long ago. So after you came to my hospital with your wife, you never bothered to even come visit again, Mr. Richard said, smiling. No, doctor, it's not like that now. I have been very busy with work. That's why, Yagazie replied. But as they were still talking, Dr. Richard looked into the car and saw Yagazie's children. As he then smiled and said to him, "Wow, congratulations! So you and your wife adopted 3 kids. Wow. I am impressed," he said, looking at Yagazie, who was confused, as he then corrected the doctor, proudly stating that the kids were his biological children. "Ah, doctor, they are my children or my biological children. We did not adopt," Yagazie replied, smiling. "But, Yagazie, you're infertile and can't get a woman pregnant. The test I conducted 4 years ago showed that you can't get a woman pregnant. Didn't your wife mention this to you or showed you the test results?" he asked, looking at Yagazie, who could not believe what the doctor was saying. "Wait, doctor, calm down. I don't understand what you're saying. Are you indirectly telling me these kids are not mine and I am infertile?" Yagazie asked, looking shocked. "Of course, yes, you are infertile. In fact, hold on," the doctor said as he brought out his laptop and looked for Yagazie's medical file in his folder, showing him the results. "See, it's clearly stated that you can't get a woman pregnant. I am surprised you're telling me these kids are your biological children," he said, looking at Yagazie, who was already sweating profusely. Doctor, I don't believe you. In fact, I want you to carry out a DNA test on these children and also carry out a test on me too to prove I am infertile before I believe anything you are saying," Yagazie replied. "Okay, fine. No problem. Just drive me to my hospital. I will carry out the tests." They both went to the hospital with the kids as the doctor ran a test on Yagazie and also checked the kids' DNA. "By next week, the results will be out," he said, looking at Yagazie, who was still in total shock, as he drove the kids to school and went to work. That week was like a whole year, as Yagazie was waiting for the test results and the DNA results. He made sure he hid everything from his wife, who never suspected what was going on. When the result was finally out, Yagazie, while pretending to drive the kids to school, went straight to the hospital and got the shock of his life. His test results showed that he was impotent, and also the DNA result revealed that the 3 kids were not his. The revelation struck like a bolt of lightning. Shock and betrayal surged within him, and at the same time, he was confused because Uzoma got pregnant for him while they were still studying at the university. "So how am I infertile?" Yagazie kept on muttering to himself. With the weight of disbelief pressing down on him, he drove the kids back home. He was filled with anger as he looked at the kids with disgust. And immediately he arrived home, he brought the 3 of them out, went into the house, and came out with a big drum, a gallon of fuel, and the matches, and also a gallon of acid. As he stripped them naked, placing them inside the drum, ready to pour the acid on them, and also set them on fire, breathing with anger. But as he was about to, Ozioma, who was just returning back from the market, sighted him from the gate and shouted, "What are you trying to do? Yagazie?" She ran, holding her children. "Have you gone mad?" Ozioma asked, looking confused. "Ozioma, who owns these children?" Yagazie asked, looking at his wife and sounding very angry. What type of stupid question is this?" "We own them. They are our kids. We made them together," Uzoma replied, still looking confused. "This will be the last time I will ask you this question. Uzoma, who got you pregnant?" Yagazie asked. "What do you mean? Are you accusing me of infidelity? Yagazie, these kids are your children now. What has come over you?" she said, still hiding the truth and shedding crocodile tears. Yagazie then brought out the DNA result and his test result as he handed it over to Ozioma, saying, "I need an explanation now, and you better start talking." Immediately Ozioma saw that she has been caught. She fell on her knees as she broke down in tears. "Yagazie, please forgive me. It was not my idea. It was your mom that suggested everything," she said, crying. Hold on. My mom suggested what?" Yagazie asked, sounding eager to hear her reply. Your mom suggested that I sleep with Oscar, your younger brother, to bear children for you because you were impotent. Uzoma replied, crying. What? You did what? You slept with my younger brother Oscar. Uzoma, Jesus Christ! What kind of disgusting act is this? So you, my mom and brother, did all this behind my back? Ah, Uzoma, what did I ever do to you? I loved you genuinely and trusted you. But this is how you and my family choose to stab me at my back. So literally you started sleeping with my brother when he was 18 years old. Yagazie asked. I swear it only happened 3 times. Just 3 times so. Anytime I want to get pregnant, I'll just go to him to get me pregnant. I did it because of my love for you. You know I love you. Please try to understand. Will you shut up, you devil? In fact, you, my mom and brother, you all are worse than the devil. I can't believe my mother suggested this evil act to you and you accepted. Uzoma, what happened to adoption? We could have adopted, Yagazie said, crying bitterly. Yagazie's rage was uncontainable. He felt betrayed, not only by Uzoma, but also by his mother and brother, who had taken part in the deception. Yagazie was so heartbroken and could not even confront his mother or brother because the only thing they would do is to plead for forgiveness. Can I ask you one question? Yagazie said, looking at his wife, who was already soaked with tears. Back then in school, you told me you were pregnant. Was I really the one that got you pregnant? Yagazie asked, looking at Uzoma, who waved her head in shame as she said no. My God, Uzoma. So right from the very beginning, you never loved me. Why do good people always end up with bad partner? He said to himself as he sighed. You can go ahead and marry my brother since you bore his children. This marriage is over. I can't continue with it anymore. Because if I do, I might end up committing murder one day, he said to Uzoma, who was still on the floor weeping as he packed his things and left the house, torn between love and betrayal, and swore never to forgive his mother and brother or have anything to do with them for the rest of his life. Hi besties! We've come to the end of this amazing and beautiful story. Hope you enjoyed it and learned something from it. I would like to know your thoughts on what you think about Uzoma, her mother-in-law, and Oscar. Do you think their actions was right? And do you think Yagazie made the right decision by leaving his marriage? Please drop your answer in the comment section. Please and please support your girl by liking my videos and sharing to your loved ones, and also subscribing if you haven't. Thank you so much for watching to the end. I'll see you in my next story. Bye.